Hello everybody and welcome to qualifying here at Saudi Arabia. Today we're here at Jeddah. We are going to have a track length of 6.1 kilometers. A lap distance here at Jeddah is 3.8 miles a lap completed. When doing lap round Jeddah, you're full throttle at 80%, and during the lap there are 6 braking events. 2 are described as heavy. 27 corners make up this 3.8-mile track with 16 turns to the left and 11 to the right. Jeddah is the second longest track on the calendar. Jeddah is also known for its fast-moving track, which could end up with safety car activities. Here at Jeddah, there is 3 DRS zones that would allow drivers to get overtaken opportunities during the race. The last 2 seasons here at Jeddah, Preston, back in season 1, took pole. Later in that race took 3rd place. And back again in season 2, he took pole once again, making it 2 poles in a row for him. Harry, on the other hand, for 2 seasons rows have taken back-to-back wins here at Saudi Arabia, and the other people taking podiums here are Callum and Carl. That's it for me, handing it back to Dan.
Oh, what a great intro once again by Peter, carrying the whole video, I will say. Here we are for the 3rd time within our league at Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I hope you're all having a brilliant day. I hope you are all ready for some DFL action. That is right, as Peter said, Harry has won the past 2 seasons. Can he keep this win streak going? Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we saw back out in Australia that he got his 2nd win of the season. And, we all know that Harry, when he starts low on this grid, when not in qualifying, he's not really good in qualifying, but during the race, oh my God, he is absolutely on it. And I'm telling you, he has certainly found some decent form in these past couple races, as he has shown us. And he has clearly been on it. He has finally found his way within the Ferrari team, and now is making big moves in this league at the moment.
Of course, and whether he can bring that momentum into Season 4 is another question. I mean, actually, no, we don't need to discuss Season 4, because right here, right now, we do have confirmation, people. We have only just found this out yesterday, but this is not a 2-way battle anymore for the title. This is now a 3-way battle, including Harry, Preston, Charlie, Harry, all in the race for the title. It's getting even more clinical by the week, people. How do you feel with Harry coming into the title battle now? And do you think he can truly take advantage of this where he didn't last season?
I think he could, because for that to happen, he said, those 2 would have to DNF basically all the races, and he'd have to go and win every race to win the championship. And, even if one of those 2 DNF at least once, it won't make a difference, because, they won't allow Harry to get that championship. So as much as we like to say he is still in this championship, which mathematically he still is, but he would have to get extremely lucky to get back to have some form of title fight. But at the moment, the championship fight is so close. I don't know if you got the table up, Dan, but we are definitely watching a true battle going on between Charlie and Preston. 18 points difference between those 2. Obviously Charlie's still leading the championship, but at the same time, Preston is gaining and slowly chopping that lead down bit by bit, race after race. And he is slowly coming into it as his own, and he is finding his way at the moment.
Of course, and as you can see, Charlie is on provisional pole with a 129.584. Following close behind him is Harry in P2 with a 130.583. a whole second between them. That's kind of crazy. Then Preston comes in P3 with a 130.840, 3/10 of a second off of Harry there. Callum comes in P4 with a 131.454. Then just going quite a bit down, we have the return of Ritvic, now down in P12 with no time set. The guys, I'm sure, will be setting more times as we go along. But, as you say, it's getting very, very close the more we get into this, to be honest. And whether Harry can get lucky in these next few races, I know you're watching this, Harry, and I know you're probably frustrated with me saying that, but let's be honest, you have to get lucky in these next, like, 4 races after this one to get that championship. But who knows if that will actually happen or not. But with that in mind, it's just a question of what can Harry do today. Can he secure this win streak? Can he secure more points in the championship? I mean, right now, as you say, there are 2 streaks going on here in Jeddah. Preston's pole positions, that's at stake right now. He's not in pole position right now. He could be losing that.
Yeah, you know, it could all end here today for Preston, you know. This man is on for a record-breaking season. 3 poles at Jeddah is a potential, and 2 championships to his name is a potential as well. But, you know, Charlie has only made 2 appearances in this track and not made all 3, as whereas Preston and Harry have made all 3 appearances here at Jeddah.
That's what I was going to ask you, actually. I completely forgot. But with Charlie's last time here in Jeddah was his last race in Season 1, do you think coming back to this track, he'll be thinking, right, let's put that all behind me. I'm going to win this today to seek redemption here in Jeddah?
You know, I'd have to say, you know, from someone who was getting frustrated and, you know, wasn't able to perform at the level he is at now, you know, you could clearly see over time he has developed as a driver and how much he's grown, because look where he's at now. He's leading the championship, and who would have thought at the start of this season that Charlie was going to lead this championship? Who would have thought by now? We would have all thought, you know, can I go back to something? I remember maybe about 5-6 races ago that Preston said he will have this wrapped up before Abu Dhabi, and it isn't shaping up to be that way. It looks to be going down to Abu Dhabi at this very moment. So, from what Preston says, you know, he might have thought he might have had this championship. He might have thought he might have been able to get a few more race victories, well, than what he intended to. But, you know, at the moment, he hasn't really been able to live up to that expectation or that promise that he said.
He really hasn't, and it has shown. Like, Charlie has not given up on fighting for this at all. He has been utterly brilliant in claiming those points and making sure he is on top of this championship. But as you say, Preston is also clawing back those points. So I think it will go down to Abu Dhabi. Preston, I don't think he's right in what he's saying. He will not have this championship wrapped up before Abu Dhabi. There's just no way.
I mean, I can definitely see it. Well, how many races? Let me just have a look real quick. So at the moment, you know, we are looking. What we got? We got 5 races left of the season and 5 intense races left of the season. Every point, every race matters between these two now. If there's an 18-point difference between those two, and you know. I'd have to say Charlie got very unlucky out in Australia. Preston, again, you know, was a little bit unlucky, but, you know, did his best and came out with gaining more points than his championship rival. And, you know, I would have to say Australia was a bit, you know, not how we planned it for everyone, but, you know, it is what it is, and we have to move on from that now. But, you know, I still have to think that, you know, every race that goes down, like, one of them could DNF. Someone could, Charlie, say, for instance, hopefully I'm not giving this the commentator's curse, but, you know, say if one of those two DNF this race and one gains more points than the other, it could be very crucial and it could be it could be proven to be more crucial for this championship fight, because you know Charlie is a consistent person. He does not, and I mean he has not given one bad performance apart from maybe Spain, which is his only performance that I think he didn't have a good race in. But apart from that, you know, I feel like he's been very consistent. He's always gotten back up, even if he's been falling. Well, even if he's been falling, even if he has fallen, you know, it hasn't stopped him. And he's got back up and dusted himself off, and he's just continued on like nothing's happened. Like you could see it back in Italy when he got when he like spun out and then came back and still gained points. You know, the amount of times he makes a mistake and then still comes back to give the best result is probably the best thing about him, because it just goes to show his will and determination of what he wants, and you can show that he's striving to go and to get it.
Exactly, and he will not give up. No matter, as you say, how many times he falls down, he won't give up in building back up and claiming what, in his eyes, is rightfully his. But will he be able to do enough? Who knows? That is the question. But just very, very quickly, moving on slightly, I did mention it before, but we do see the return of Ritvic in this race. He's already spun out, I think, twice so far in qualifying. Very unlucky. Do you think, you know, Ritvic returning for the second time here in season 3, he can do anything today?
No, Preston just crashed on his flying lap. He's lost his front wing.
Oh no, that's not looking good for Preston at all, then, is it?
Yeah, no, definitely when he's trying to continue that pole streak that he wants. Well, we don't know if he wants it, but you know, even if he doesn't want it, it's still there to be, you know, set.
Yes, exactly, and it looks like Jake has just got in from shopping, so I don't know if he'll be able to join or not, to be honest. I'm gonna have to look into that. But back to what I was saying about Ritvic. Any thoughts on that at all? Just very quickly.
Yeah, well, you know, Ritvic in the past couple seasons, you know, here at Jeddah, he's actually done pretty well. I think back in seasons 2, he was able, might have been seasons 1 or 2, but either way, he put his car in the front row. I can't remember what happened throughout the race, but you know, it didn't end well, or he didn't have the result he wanted. But you know, during qualifying, I thought this would be a track that he'd be very, very decent at, and I thought he'd at least might, you know, be confident enough to attack it at full pace.
Exactly, and who knows whether he will be able to, as you say, attack at that full pace. But I'm hoping to see it. I think Ritvic has got very unlucky in these recent seasons. I mean, you go back to Abu Dhabi season 1, you saw what he could do. Yes, he DNF'd, but he was amazing nonetheless. I truly believe it was his best race within DFL. But the truth is, you know, it's that unluckiness. You know, and also him not being here, it's what I would call track rust. You know, it's whether he can, you know, break off that track rust, really show what he can do like he did in Abu Dhabi. Maybe he shows up for Abu Dhabi and shows everyone up again.
I don't know, you know, it just, yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to see everyone in Abu Dhabi like we all plan, well, what we plan to do for Abu Dhabi. You know, who knows what will happen in Abu Dhabi, who knows? I mean, it could be that the Abu Dhabi was the final decider race for the championship. That's something I would love to be able to commentate on in the DFL. It'd be a massive pleasure to do that. But also, you know, we don't know what's going to go on in these last 5 races of the season, because, you know, it's starting to turn out like a Max Verstappen Lewis Hamilton 2021 season. And, you know, now he's come around, but that doesn't matter. But, sorry, Harry. But yeah, either way, I feel like it's going to turn out, I want it to turn out like the end of Abu Dhabi. Well, not end like Abu Dhabi, but, you know, you get what I'm trying to say.
You want Jamie to take the win, yeah?
I want Jamie to take the win.
He's in a Red Bull, you said the end.
No, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, no going back on this now. You said you want Jamie to win, that's fine. I'm saving that clip, that's going on TikTok. You were saying, sorry. Oh! I'm very sorry to interrupt, but Jamie's jumped up to P3.
That's a massive jump up for Jamie, putting significant improvements in his lap time and able to jump his way up. And as we've seen him around Jeddah. Maybe this certain tracks for people like Jeddah suit a lot of people's driving style.
Perhaps, who knows? It'll be interesting to see that for sure. But I'm not sure if you brought it up, but Ritvic has DNF'd, so a very unlucky time. But he did set a time. He is P18, so he is up on 2 AIs at least. That's the main thing. But with Charlie P1, Harry P2, Jamie P3, Preston P4, and Callum P5, what kind of battle we expecting? We expecting member 5 to separate, potentially them all to stick together. Do you think Callum may drop back a bit? What are you expecting from it?
I don't know. We've seen Harry's pace. We've seen how close it can get between everyone in Jeddah, and especially with.
Oh my God! Jamie's just been taken out by an Alfa Romeo here. What the hell was that AI doing? And now the Alfa Atari. Oh my word! Well, this is chaos.
That's a ripperoonie to Jamie. I'm sure he was probably on an in lap or maybe on an out lap. I don't know, but he's got a decent enough timing to sit there. It's about a 4-10 separation between him and Preston at the moment, and that's about like maybe 6-10 separation between him and him and Callum.
Exactly. Whether Callum can make up that time or not, it will be a question. Do you think he can make up that time, being Callum?
No, I mean, I have to say, Callum has certain performances that he's been very good at, and then there's just been some tracks where he hasn't really been able to perform at the level that we know he can. So I don't know. It all depends on what how he's feeling in the car and what the setup's doing and what he's doing really.
I will say quickly, something you can never take away from Callum, and I know he's going to enjoy hearing this if he's watching, is the fact that he is the first, he won the first ever DFL race. And that is in the history books. He won Bahrain Season 1, so no matter how he performs in any race, of course he wants to win a championship, but no matter how he performs in any race, he has that cemented in his DFL history book.
Yeah, exactly. And that's always great to have because, not many people can say, oh, I have 2 world championships, or I have so many wins in this league.
Speaking of Callum, he's just spun out.
It's a big rip to Callum, but, that's what... Jeddah is a very aggressive track, and if you make one slight mistake, you get punished for it, especially through Sector 1, and especially after through turns 1 onwards until the end of Sector 1. It's a very slivery part of the track, and you have to be very pinpoint precise on how you turn the car, how you are on the throttle, how you are on braking slightly, every upshift, every downshift, everything counts to, going through this, turn 1s onwards, because, Jeddah is a very aggressive, fast-moving, and, can be, times, how do I say this, at times it could be very punishing towards, the drivers. And as I've seen right now, it is, unless Jamie somehow puts this car on provisional pole, I think Charlie is currently on provisional pole with Preston just a 10th behind, so he has lost out on his record today. He will no longer have that record going on until next season, so that is Preston's 3 years of running in pole gone now. He's only managed to do it for 2 seasons now. So unless Jamie can somehow do this, and I think he's probably in no fuel mode. So apart from that, I think Charlie is now actually on pole.
Very well done to Charlie, I will say, to be honest, deserved. He's done brilliantly so far, and he gets the pole point he will ever so enjoy. But who knows what's going to happen. We're about to look at the leaderboard in a second. People, do not miss it. And here you are for a quick rundown of your qualifying leaderboard. You have Charlie on provisional pole, not provisional, well, pole position. You have Preston on P2, Harry in P3, Jamie in P4, Callum in P5, and you go down quite a bit. Very unfortunately, you have Ritvik somewhere. And here we are for the Jeddah formation lap. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing alright. Welcome to this race day. Peter, how are you feeling about this race today?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling excited for this. You know, we've got Charlie at the front leader. We got Preston, his championship rival, on the front row with him. And then we've also got Harry, who is potentially looking to get a third win here at Saudi Arabia. He did say, when it comes to Saudi Arabia, he said he is going to win it. So let's see if we can hold him to his word today and see if he can get that win and make it 3 years running winning here at Jeddah. His last time he had a streak like that was France, and that came to an end. And you know, when we all thought he was out of it, a safety car came back in and brought him back in. So I mean, I don't know. Somehow it seems to fade Harry's way just a little bit there. You know, I think this is going to be a very good race, very dramatic, very exciting, and I hope to see a lot of action in today's race.
Exactly, and I hope that's what we're going to get. No DNFs, of course, because no one wants a DNF. However, lots of fighting, lots of battles, lots of wheel-to-wheel battles going ahead. Hopefully we get to see that, who knows. But it's all going to come down to how much these drivers want this win. I know Harry wants this more than anyone. He wants to cement his legacy even further in the DFL. He may not have a World Championship due to DNFing in Abu Dhabi twice, but he does have this streak, and whether it survives today or not is another question entirely. Who knows? But obviously, taking that out of everything, Charlie and Preston will be the two looking for the win the most. They are, as you say, battling for this championship. Every point counts within this whole championship race. Who knows who can pull what out the bag today? It's going to be exciting, that's for sure. But as the drivers do line back up, I will be taking lights out for you guys today. Yes, you've got me screaming in your ears. Don't you love it? But every driver now lines up. Ritvik being the last to line up on his return race to the DFL, a little bit behind, so we're going to be waiting quite a bit. Peter, any thoughts about anyone specifically today and what they're going to do?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking to hope to see Harry fight for this win. I mean, I'd love to see maybe a 5-way fight for this win, but you know, with Harry, Charlie's, and Preston's pace this season, it's been unmatchable at times. So I'd have to say I would like to see those three run at it and just you know all go at it and just have some fun.
Very, very true. It would be great to see a three-way battle, maybe even with Jamie and Callum as well. Bring those two into it, make it a 5-way battle for this win. Who knows? But it's a shame Ritvik's down in P20, but hopefully he can come back. Who knows? But he's kind of trying to warm up his tyres a bit right now, taking it a bit slow, making everyone wait, maybe playing the mind games. You know, he may not be able to battle up top, but he can make everyone wait around and get nervous.
Yeah, no, he's already put in the chat that his upshifting is already broken.
But people, it is 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go for the third time ever in Jeddah. What a start by everyone today. Callum already up, but Jamie comes back. Jamie goes P3, in fact. Harry goes down to P4. 3-second time penalty for Harry already.
Yeah, Callum rear-ended Harry and then rear-ended him once again. And there's a spin already. Jamie taking out Preston.
Oh my God.
On the table now, and he has got some damage by the seams of things. But Jamie, I don't know what was going on there. Missed a glimpse of it. I can't speak. Sort of seen it from Callum's view, and now his Charlie's championship rival Preston, all the way down in P20, and this is probably what Charlie wants right now. I'm sure he'll be delighted to see his championship rival down in P20 and not in the points at this very moment.
He will be loving it, that's what he will be. But whether Preston can come back or not is another question. Whether Harry can battle Charlie and knock him down off his pedestal will be another question. Who knows? But Jamie now down in P7, P8, he's spun as well.
And now Jamie all the way down in P19 now.
This is an unfortunate day for our drivers so far. Preston down in P20 due to Jamie. And when Jamie joins him down there, now in P19.
Yeah, like I said, Jeddah is a very aggressive track, but also there's not enough room for like 3 or 4 cars to be fighting and going wheel to wheel. So obviously, eventually something like that was going to happen, but at the start of the race, it happened. So rather be at the start of the race than sometime mid-race, because then you'd probably have less time to recover. But Preston, I'm sure, will fight his way back through the field and bring himself into the points so he can fight for this championship and still have some say in what he can do. His all hopes rely on Harry right now to maybe be fighting for this win.
Exactly, and whether Harry can handle it or not is another question. I mean, he is already going down, but Ritvic does get a 3-second time penalty. I believe I did see him colliding with Daniel Ricciardo quite a lot. Battling away with him was not a great battle, to be honest. It was just a lot of carnage, and Ritvic has been given a pen, and he's retired already. Twice now in Season 3. He started and he's retired. Oh my god.
It's a safety car, and like I said, this is going to bring Preston back into it, and now this is falling into the hands of Harry and Preston right now.
Exactly. But I don't know how Charlie will be feeling about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he'd want to keep that 2.8 gap that he had on Harry, but you know, all that gets reset back to 0 now, and under safety car conditions it is. But one man we haven't spoken about is Callum. He is currently in P3.
He is, and he's just you know, glided along, enjoyed his P3. I don't think he's had a podium yet in Season 3, has he? No, he has. He had one in Mexico, in America, and that was it. Looking potentially for his 3rd podium here now. Can he get it, do you think, today?
He could potentially, but if he has Preston chasing him, then I don't think so.
Fair enough, fair enough. But you think Harry could potentially give a fight to Charlie now? I think that's what people will be looking at, to be honest.
Yes, I definitely think Harry can put a fight to Charlie, and I'm sure give it his all. I'm sure we'll have to look at that penalty that was given by to Harry as well, because it wasn't his entire fault. He had to sort of skip the corner because, you know, he couldn't really re-enter the track, and you know, he couldn't really re-enter the track because it was in turns 2 when it was. We
will see if Harry wants that penalty taken away or not, to be honest. Who knows? But we shall see what is said after this race. But for now, Preston is catching up. He has gone into the pits, taking a full advantage of a safety car. He'd be glad he didn't pit straight away.
Yeah. Yeah. I think pitting at an early stage would be a bit of a silly choice, because, you know, your tyres are still fresh and there'd just be no point. You know, at the early stage of this, you know, if this was maybe about 10 laps later, then I would definitely agree on pitting, because you're sort of coming towards the end of the stint, and you know, you might as well get a free pit stop while you still can, and not have it affect you later on during the race.
But the question was, did he have some damage that he thought, no, I'm not going to pit because I need to catch up. But when he saw the safety car, he thought, well, this is my chance to get my damage repaired, so I'm not affected.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that is a sensible move as well, because also if you're hitting to get rid of any damages, it also would help as well, because you still come towards, you probably will end up catching at the back of the safety car eventually, so, you know.
Exactly. But who knows whether Preston can get back up or not, whether he can. I don't know why. I know that Sochi wasn't that great. It was like Preston from P11 or something up to P1. Don't get me wrong, Preston. I know you're watching this. It was brilliant at the time. But I don't know why I keep referencing this, but I'd love to see another Sochi moment right here. That's what I'm saying. But anyway,
Yeah.
go on.
I was going to say this, you're saying this is another Sochi moment then?
Potentially, who knows whether he can get back up or not. You don't know. I mean, with him being on, just very quickly, with him being on hards, it's going to be interesting because everyone else being on for, you know, the faster tyres. But everyone will pit, he won't. Bing bang bosh. He can, you know, he could go up top. But who knows? But anyway, going back up to the top. Do you think Callum can bring the fight to Harry or Charlie here? He's in P3, in a good position. Would he want to risk that by battling, or do you think he's going to hold back slightly?
Well, I'd have to say, you know, like I said before, Harry's and Charlie's paces have been unmatched at times. So, to be honest, I don't see Callum fighting for this at the moment, unless, you know, Harry is is fighting Harry. Well, not sorry. Don't do another Callum and Preston moment, I think. Yeah, unless Callum can catch up with Harry and Charlie, and whilst those two are fighting away for the lead, then you know, I'd have to say I don't think so, because his pace hasn't been particularly that strong. But now the lights are going green, and Charlie will lead this pack under safety car now. And will Harry gain on this pit straight? He certainly does. He's catching at a rate of knots. He will be looking to maybe make a move down the inside. He doesn't into turns one. He waits patiently and waits for his move to arise and show itself. But Charlie seems to maybe have a lot better setup through sector 1, and maybe one that suits his car to maybe gain a lot more time than what Harry's does, because it's now almost a second.
Yeah, Harry had one chance, and it appears that may have been his only chance. Now Charlie breaking away, may I say. But Callum is still trying to catch up to Harry here, not being too successful, but trying to give it his all. However, Preston now building up, and so is Jamie. Both of them looking for an overtake. Preston now going on the inside of the Alfa Romeo of Joe Guan Yu and makes it past. Or is it Guan Yu Joe? I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember which way it is. But which one?
It's Joe Guan Yu.
Joe Guan Yu, thank you very much. But yes, makes him past the Alfa Romeo driver. Nice one by Preston. As Jamie also makes it past the McLaren driver of Daniel Ricciardo, aka Danny Rick, as I like to call him. But nice one by both of them to get past there. They'll be building their way up for sure to battle away with the top guys. But now Harry seems to be keeping a steady time gap, really. He's not falling that far behind.
Yeah, definitely. He is catching and slowly catching and, you know, still gaining. But like I said, it comes down to setups and what everyone has. And, you know, some people have gone for a more focused downforce to get gain time through the slivery sectors, like sector 1, is where if you have a high downforce setup, this is where it will pay off mostly. But if you have a more higher base less downforce, you're going to be more benefiting from maybe the DRS zones, the pit, the straights, the just before the last bend, second to last DRS zone, should I say? But yeah. Who
knows whether Harry can truly pull it back or not. He does seem to be losing time here, but he he told me about his setup. I can't exactly remember what he said. I think he was looking more. I think he said more like he's been running more of a rear focused setup recently on this game, but in Jeddah he looks to more of a front focused setup, because that's how it is in Jeddah. He would rather his rear slip out than his front slip out. Whether that will pay off in building the time on Charlie or not, it's not looking likely right now, but don't count him out, as I say. But Preston and Jamie is still climbing it as Preston manages to get the overtake on the other the other Williams of Alexander Albon. The only Williams still in this race here.
Yeah. Unlikely for Rickwick to, obviously DNF, but, Albon is still here and, still trying to fight for that Williams team. But at the moment, it looks to be that, Preston is climbing as much as he can as he moves up into P12 and now passes Sergio Perez, and now faces Valtteri Bottas in hopes of trying to get these points within just before lap 8. And I think that is Callum, or one of the Aston Martins. Yeah, it was one of the Aston Martins who spun out there for a split second. It might even have been Callum. Yes, it is Callum, because Lewis Hamilton is now looking to try and overtake Callum into this just after end of sector 1.
A very unlucky time for Callum for sure. Whether he can build back that time on Harry or not is an entire question, to be honest, and you'll have to stay tuned to find out. But Callum is now in this moment under pressure from a Mercedes driver, the 7-time World Drivers' Champion of Formula 1, not DFL. Do not get that wrong. But can Callum survive the Lewis Hamilton or not is another question. To be honest, he does seem to be right now, but who knows? Harry's still dropping down a lot of time on Charlie. What is going on with Harry today? Charlie's just breaking away.
Yeah, like I said though, during sector 1 you can gain a lot of time with your hide, and Callum, sorry to break myself off there for a second, but Callum decides to pit, which will give Preston another position as he moves up to P9 as well, so he gains 2 positions now. He's now officially back into the points after what happened at the start, and now it's focusing on the long game now, and that is to try and get as up in this grid as he can now.
Exactly, and Preston, as you say, is storming up there. Whether he can continue this climb will be an interesting watch for sure. He does look to, as you said before, look to be overtaking Carlos Sainz, as he does on the outside of the Ferrari. Makes it past Carlos Sainz, trying to come back, but Preston says, and I'm going to quote it, no you don't, I'm taking this position right here.
Yeah, definitely. Preston is flying at a rate of knots now. He is trying to push that car to its absolute limit here at Jeddah. But don't get it wrong, if you push too hard and one slight mistake, it will punish you completely.
It really will. So Preston has to be as careful as he can be, because, as you say, one small mistake and that's it. But we will check in with Preston very shortly as he climbs up a bit more, I'm sure. Who knows? Callum is going to try his best to get back up now, but do you think he can?
I think it's the same with Bradley. I mean, it's like, if he makes one small mistake, I think it ruins his race.
Very, very true. I can agree with that. I mean, Callum, don't get me wrong, he's a brilliant driver, but he's just got, I think you agree with me, he's got very unlucky this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely, but some of them also come down to driver errors as well. I mean, certainly, like just a couple laps ago, like whatever happened to him, I'm not quite sure. He might have lost his rear end because of it. He didn't completely spin out, I don't think. But I don't know, I'm sure he'll tell us later what happened. But, it all comes down to driver errors most times, or sometimes it actually is a collision. Like Italy, for example.
That was spun out again.
That wasn't entirely his fault. And talking about Callum, it looks to be like he might have spun it again as there's a yellow sector 1.
That is what I was talking about. Callum has spun it again. A very unlucky time for him so far. However, Preston up to P4 now.
Yeah, definitely. Preston now, like I said, he is trying to climb as much as he can. The question is, will there be another safety car that could play into the hands of Preston? And obviously Navy hope to get in the fight again with Charlie.
Who knows? He will well, I'm not sure whether he'd be hoping for it or not. I mean, obviously it'd be good if it comes, but do you think he would rather just build up the time anyway? You know, obviously there's a 10-second gap now between Harry and Lewis Hamilton, so I think he would rather actually a safety car. But I think he has the ability to knock down that time insanely.
Oh, I'm just seeing something right now. Charlie is slowing down by quite a bit. He has lost about 7/10 to Harry.
What the hell is going on with Charlie here? Something like potentially a technical issue? No, he seems to be, I was about to say he's building back that time, but he's really not.
Yeah, and this is probably going to give Harry the DRS, and this certainly will. And Harry will now be able to make use of the DRS on this very straight, as it's been modified to make it a little bit wider, better for overtaking. You know, the gap is currently 0.8 of a second, and now Harry has put in a purple sector 2, and now he is on the fly. He's flying now to Navy try and get Charlie now. He will have this straight and then the pit straight as well, so he will have a good chance, maybe a good fair chance of getting to overtake Charlie, as he now finds the final corner and now enter the pit straight. Will Harry pit? No, he does not. So Charlie will pit this very lap, and this will give Preston the upper hand advantage over Charlie, as you know, he's already pitted.
But Charlie going on to the hards, just like Preston and Callum here, are a bit late for the hards, wouldn't you say?
No, this is definitely, this is literally the strategy that everyone would be doing. I'm sure Harry will be pitting in this very next lap to maybe cover off Charlie and to, you know, have a fighting chance against Charlie. But right now, if he does go to pit, it will give Preston the lead.
And Preston will not be wanting to lose that lead for anything. I mean, let's be honest. You know, Preston having already pitted, does he have to pit again?
Not really, unless a safety car comes out and he wants to switch to the softs to, you know, be fast and make these last like 5 or 6 laps count and just push all out.
I think he has the upper advantage here. Having pitted early, I think it's worked out. Yes, Charlie's on the newer hards, but if Preston can create such a gap, you know, Charlie can close it easily, but it's whether, you know, that battle will be insane between Charlie and Preston, I believe, in the final few laps.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we all want to see. You know, we saw those two collide well, not even collide, they had a bit of coming together slightly out in Australia, and obviously we know how that ended, but still, we move on to this race, and now Harry has pitted, and Preston also has set the fastest lap of this race, so where will Harry come out is the question right now. It seems hopefully he'll come out just maybe in front of Charlie. He's still in P6 right now, and he has come out in front of Charlie. He's come out 2 cars in front of Charlie. So this has worked out in Harry's favour very, very much right now.
It really has, and Harry will be looking to take advantage of this advantage, shall we say, that he has been served on a silver platter to him right now, but whether he can take advantage of it is, again, another question. I need to stop saying that because it's just going to become another quote. But now, can Harry really... Oh!
Oh! Harry's binned it! Oh no! Harry's caused a massive crash!
Oh my god!
Oh no, and that's Harry out of the race.
And that's affected Charlie insanely as well. That is Harry's win streak gone. That is Charlie knocked down to P7 with wing damage. This is another safety car. 5-second penalty to Perez due to the collision here. Oh my word.
Yeah, this is very, very, very bad. But this has also given Preston the upper hand advantage because he can pit and not have it affect him.
Absolutely. Will Preston take advantage of this? And he is. This is insane.
Yeah, like I said, there's always safety car activities round this track. I mean, it's sort of like Monaco with how close the walls are together. So one small mistake is going to punish him, and it really. And I understand why Charlie's continued on racing because, well, he comes out just behind Preston.
There is no wing for Charlie though. Like, he can't surely function his car.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't be able to turn very nicely because there'll be no downforce for him to do that.
Exactly, and apparently Charlie is now having a go at Jamie. I believe Jamie somehow caused Charlie's wing to go.
I'm not quite sure about that one. I mean, Charlie wasn't far behind Harry.
We need to review that later. Well, not us. The stewards need to review that later and see what happens. Because, oh my word.
Yeah, that's very massive and very, very controversial for the championship as well, because he is going to have to pit eventually.
The thing is, I mean, will the angle be taken again for Jamie if Jamie has caused this? If there is a slight shred of evidence that states that Jamie has caused Charlie's wing to go, I mean, Jamie did cause the safety car, so no one can say it was for Preston. But Charlie, if Jamie has taken Charlie's wing off, can the stewards say outright that Jamie is helping Preston win again?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that Charlie went into Harry when Harry's spun it already. I think he made contact with Harry's car when he already binned it.
Apparently, Jamie tries to overtake past Charlie when Harry is crashed in front of Charlie. Literally spins him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he was spun or anything because it looked like he. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to look up it. Well, we won't. The stewards will, but I'm sure it will get resolved. But we'll have to head back to the race now. But I haven't been entirely sure to why Charlie hasn't pitted.
I don't know either. Is he? We've seen it before with George. He didn't pit when he was in front in Singapore because he tried to hold on to the lead. Didn't work out. Is Charlie trying to do the same thing?
This is different. Charlie has no front wing at all.
True.
So it wouldn't make sense of being able to hold the lead when you probably lose it in a matter of seconds anyways.
I just don't understand this. I really don't. I mean, let's just take our eyes off of Preston and Charlie for a second. Harry has lost his win streak.
Yeah, I mean, it's not what you want to see because obviously 2 records have not been able to be been added on them, extended, should I say. Harry's win record of trying to get another race win here at Jeddah, and Preston's pole streak.
So gone to absolute, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it hasn't. It's not how it's worked out, but I'm sure Preston will be happy when his rival goes to pit because obviously Charlie is going to have to pit eventually. He's probably going to have to pit this very lap, or he's going to eventually. But you know, I don't see why why he's stuck out behind the safety car with no front wing.
There we go. Charlie, no, not Charlie. The safety car is in this lap. Charlie is holding everyone up, making sure they are not ready for when he pounces down that track. Everyone will be on their accelerators ready and raring to go, but it's all down to Charlie to lead them down, and it looks to be Charlie going, and it's gone green lights, and we are back to racing. Preston now looking for the utmost advantage on Charlie. He may be looking for the overtake on the outside, and he goes for it, potentially getting that P1. Can Charlie hold on? Charlie has held on. No, he hasn't. Charlie sent wide due to having no wing. Also contact there, I don't know. I couldn't really tell, to be honest, but Preston takes that P1 position.
Yeah, Preston now back up into the lead, makes the move, the crucial move that he needs to get past his championship rival and go on and to put an advantage over his championship rival.
And Charlie will not be like him, as he needs those points as much as he can to hold on to his championship. There is only 18 points holding them apart. Now Charlie's down to P3 now. AI's swarming him, ready for the overtake. The further he goes down, the more those points break away. And it may get to a certain point, the further Charlie goes down, it may get to a certain point where Preston does take the lead of the championship in this race.
It could be potential for the first time of season 3. Hopefully they're not giving us the commentators curse, but could potentially take the lead of this drivers' championship for the first time this season.
Absolutely. But can Preston hold on to this is another question. I mean, you know, Charlie must be fuming right now.
Yeah, I'm sure what happens will be looked at, and I'm sure.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why he didn't pit when he had the chance to. It just doesn't make sense. But you know, now we see Callum and also Jamie, but Jamie's been spun round by Sebastian Vettel, and now he's dropped down to P7, and you know the AI trying to make a move, and then and another safety car.
Oh my word! Commentator's curse has struck again.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, Charlie now has a chance to get back up and fight Preston. You know?
Yeah. This safety car will play back into the hands of Charlie, but this time he will be all the way down the back towards the back of the grid with his teammate.
Exactly. What will Alpine come up with to get Charlie back up into that winning position? I mean, I mean, you know, Charlie now has a wing. He has the mediums. He is able to fight everyone, you know, because everyone except I think Preston is on those hard tyres.
Yeah, Preston's on the mediums, and you know, it was a smart choice for him because eventually those hards that he had on towards like the end of lap 1 or 2, wherever he pitted, you know, he was gonna have to either defend for his life or, you know, just accept that his tyre life was going to be absolutely demolished. And yeah, but lucky that safety car came around for him, and then you know, he was able to pit under safety car and get those brand new sets of mediums, and that he will be able to put them to push them to the end, because you know, when you're under safety car, you're not really using grip.
Exactly. You know, tyres will go cold. You know, Charlie, being on the better tyres, will be able to warm his tyres quicker and get ahead of those AIs. And
yeah, I mean, it's the same with Preston. Preston will be able to light up those tyres and then be able to get away.
Exactly. But we're just going to take our attention off of those two for a minute. Callum and Jamie. Callum in P4, Jamie in P7. Great positions for both of them, I'd say. I mean, Jamie obviously had caused maybe 2 safety cars now in this race.
well, one because well,
He caused this one.
Jamie hasn't really caused anything. Harry spun out on the first one. Let's not get that wrong. Harry caused the first safety car, and then I don't know what happened with this safety car. So we can't really accuse Jamie of saying he's done that because he hasn't really caused anything.
Very, very true. And I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is also going to be awesome. This is going to be an awesome into race. I'm going to love it. But now Callum in P4, Preston in P1, Jamie in P7, Charlie in P14. Unfortunately, Harry and Ritvik have retired this race. It's all for nothing, basically. No, it's all or nothing. That's what I'm trying to say. All or nothing now for this race between Preston and Charlie. Charlie all the way down in P14. Can he muster up those points? I mean, what Charlie needs is to be trying to calculate this here. So 18 points to 25 would be 7 points different. He needs to be at least so 10 gets 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. He needs to be at least P6 to stay up top this race.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be definitely doable for Charlie. I'm sure he might even get a podium if he's able to cut his way through the field. But yeah, we'll have to see what goes on because, you know, another safety car could come out. Who knows?
Who knows, who knows. Obviously, this race has been so far unpredictable. I hope you are all enjoying this. If you are, then please do smash that like button, subscribe if you are new. Because you won't want to miss any more DFL videos. We've got 4 more races after this. Like, come on. Subscribe already. But let's get back into the action now. Lap 18, the safety car still not gone in. Hopefully it goes in at the end of this lap. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see, of course, what happens. I'm running out of conversation here for the safety car. This is what happened mainly when I was on my own in Season 1 and Season 2. I had nothing to talk about throughout the safety car.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we could talk about the last 5 races, you know. I mean, these last 5 races could prove to be, well, like I said at the start, you know, every race is going to help between those two, but, you know, like I said, feel that, like, this race, Preston could potentially make this championship less than double digits. He could bring it down to single digits if he really wanted to this race. And it also comes down to what Charlie can do as well. Also, as safety car is coming in this lap, Preston will lead this whole pack to the start, well, the restart, should I say. 16 drivers left now in this Jeddah race. 4 DNS, we've had Harry, we've had Ritvik, and we've had 2 AIs, Gasly and Perez. But now, Preston is leading this pack now. He's going awfully slow. Now he's building up the speed so he can build a gap on Lando Norris. And now it is underway and back to normal racing conditions. There is Callum trying to send it down the inside. He makes a bit of contact there with Lando Norris, but now makes his way back up to P2. Now, this is great stuff between now. The last time we saw a 1-2 for Callum and Preston was probably back in Season 1 when they were championship contenders.
That's what I was about to say. This is bringing back old Season 1 vibes. This is like old memories struck again. Just put them in Williams cars and get the game on F1 2021 and you've got a perfect image. But, yeah. Oh, carry on.
I was agreeing with what you're saying.
Fair enough, fair enough. But now Charlie up to P9 now. He is climbing the ranks, making sure he does not miss out on that P6 today and keeps his foothold on this championship battle.
Yeah, I'm sure Charlie will, like I said, he doesn't let any of this affect him, even though he might seem a little bit angry. He drives that car in vain and he pushes that car to its absolute limits, and he will not give up until a checker flag is waved at him.
Exactly, and now Charlie going on the outside of the Ferrari and makes it happen. Still wheel to wheel with Carlos Sainz, however.
Carlos been spun.
Who? Callum? Oh my god. That puts Charlie up to P6.
Charlie moves up into his way to P6, but Jamie, we haven't really spoken about him. He's moved his way up into P3.
This is incredible so far. Callum's still battling away with Lewis Hamilton, trying to keep hold of that P7. If Callum can either take Charlie, Charlie does not stay up top on the championship table. However, if Charlie can stay in front of Callum, Charlie stays on top. Oh!
Yeah, and he spun it.
Jamie!
What's going on? Third place is given. No.
And a safety car!
No.
Lewis Hamilton has DNF'd. I believe Jamie, in spinning, something happened and has DNF'd Lewis Hamilton. A safety car again.
The question is now, does Preston and Charlie pit, or do they stay out and gamble it? I mean, it will be about lap 3, so I'm assuming that Charlie might pit.
I'm just shocked with all of this, to be honest. As you say, they may pit. It's all down to how they plan this final battle, how they see themselves winning this race. But there can only be one winner, one strategy to win the race, one strategy to beat them all. Who will do it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on. It doesn't seem to be anyone's pitting. They're all staying now on this compound. And, you know, with the amount of safety cars they've had, they will be able to conserve tyres now to the end and be able to push. But Jamie has decided to gamble and take the pit this lap. I'm sure he will be on the softs.
Yes, but can Jamie take advantage of those softs or not? Who knows?
I don't know, maybe Jamie's playing a tactical masterclass.
Well, that would be great to see a Jamie masterclass, a Jamie Sochi moment. Imagine.
I kind of feel like you're overusing that now.
I know I am overusing it. I just love to say it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna wait until next season to say it. All right. I'm gonna bring it out of the bag when you're least expecting it. All right. Simple as. Just you wait, people. Just you wait. Anyways, we're gonna head back up to the top. We've had 4 safety cars.
Yeah, this is our 4th one here. The race. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just round the corner. Anything can happen.
Honestly, anything can happen. But we do have to also say, you know, we were discussing this 18-point gap between Preston and Charlie. Charlie still has that, the pole position point as well. So technically, you know, that comes into it as well. But who has fastest lap? I can't remember. That is Preston.
Yeah, Preston currently holds the fastest lap of the race, and yeah, so he may not have that pole point, but he has sort of cancelled that pole point from Charlie. So, you know, all that matters about in this race is who can score higher than the other.
Exactly, and it's going to be very interesting, that is for sure. It's typical that one gets 1 point, the other one gets another point, so they cancel each other out, as you say. But this is how close this DFL Championship is, people. You won't want to miss it. Trust me, 4 more races to go after this race. Do not miss it. Simple as.
I can't remember what race we have next.
It's Japan.
Yeah, so Japan will be an interesting one as well, because, you know, there's not many straights and there's only a couple straights that. So it will be interesting to see how drivers do next weekend on in Japan, in Suzuka. But you know, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Hopefully the safety car does go in this lap, because we want to get back to racing conditions, don't we?
Yeah, it'll be this lap that it comes in. It's only out for 2 laps and then it'll go in.
Thank God. But Charlie now in P5, holding that championship. Basically, holding the first place in the championship for this race. He'll be glad for that, won't he?
Yeah, he'll definitely be happy with the fact that his championship rival right now is down in 5th and he's all the way up in 1st.
Who are we talking about?
Who are you talking?
I was talking about Charlie, the fact that he's still up top in 1st and he'll be happy with that.
Oh, I was talking about the other one, Preston.
Yeah, we got a bit muddled up there. Ignore us, it happens sometimes. Safety car is in this lap, thank God. Preston once again leading the pack. We'll be waiting for a brilliant start to build this gap up on Yuki Tsunoda. Whether he could do that or not is another question. I'm going to have to make that my next Twitch emote, you know. Is that another... That is the question. I'm going to have to make that Twitch emote. Along with... he says, no you don't. Because I make quotes. But anyway, Preston leads the pack. We go on to the straight now. And Preston, with ERS and the full power of that Haas Ferrari engine, sends it down that straight, creating that gap. As Charlie looks for an overtake on George Russell, going on the outside, using that ERS. Can he stretch it enough? And he does, up to P4 for Charlie now.
Yeah, Charlie now, he is pushing his way through. And he will be getting a podium this race. Like I said, it doesn't matter how far he falls down, he will always climb back as quickly as he can. And he doesn't give up whilst doing it.
Exactly, and we have 2 more laps left after this one. So there is plenty more time for a battle between Charlie and Preston to ensue. And I cannot wait for it. It's been a while since we've seen an actual battle between them two.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they will fight this lap. There is 2 laps left of this race. Well, should I say 2? But it's about 2-3 laps left of the race. And I don't know who spun it. Oh, it is Guo Jianyu.
I'm very unlucky for Zhou Guanyu there, to be honest. But nevertheless, he'll be hoping for a... Oh, he's retired. Technical difficulties, I'd say. But nonetheless, Charlie is still looking for the overtake on Yuki Tsunoda. Managed to get past Lando Norris for the podium. Can he get past Yuki? I believe so. He is gaining on him as we speak.
And as he tries to go down the inside, he will go down the inside into the final corner. And he now finally moves up to 2nd place this race. And now he will be chasing Preston for this win. But there's only a couple laps left of this race. So the question is, can Charlie catch up with his setup that he has? That is designed for Sector 1 mainly. And let's see what happens.
I mean, right now, their gap is not breaking down much, is it?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen what kind of setup that Preston has. But I'm sure it'll be something similar to Charlie. Is because, you know, he hasn't been losing time like Harry was.
He hasn't, but Preston does set a purple sector 2. But Charlie comes back and I think sets the purple, no, not sector 2, sector 1. Charlie comes back and sets that and beats Preston's time in sector 1, showing that Charlie is not giving up on this win. He wants it, he's determined, and he's going to go for it no matter the cost.
Yeah, definitely. He is pushing his car to the limits. He definitely wants this win. It would be interesting to see if he gets this win or not. But if anything happens now, there will be no safety cars. Now, there's nothing that a safety car can do to help Charlie this race now. And as we're talking about other people now, Callum moves up into P4. He'll try and get his P3 and he will try to get a podium this race.
Oh, exactly, but with Lando Norris being P5, that means P6 now, due to Jamie overtaking him. That means that Bradley will also be getting some points this race. So the battle between Callum and Bradley will be heating up no matter what, but it is the final lap of the race. Preston and Charlie are going at it no matter what. Charlie is trying to push and push and push. Preston is also doing the same to create a bigger gap on Charlie, but it seems to be going down very slowly. But is Charlie doing enough to get it down fast enough?
Exactly, Charlie. He is trying everything he can and trying to throw everything he can at Preston to maybe bring that gap down to a more reasonable size, to maybe have the shot or have a bite of the cherry. And is now, it looks like Preston could potentially have this race all wrapped up for him. It is the final lap of the race, and I'm sure he will do everything he can to continue on powering through these final straights and these final corners. And it is a very, very complicated lap for Preston, but I'm sure he will continue to push and push to the very end, as he's now on the back straight of this race now. And the gap is 2.1 right now. There's been a couple yellow sectors. I think that's Jamie. Preston rounds the final corner. He started this race at the very back of the grid, and now I'm sure, and he definitely will, he'll come and cross the line for this another win yet again. Preston wins the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, and Charlie takes that second place, and Callum is not able to get that third place podium.
And that is Preston's 8th win for all of you. And what a race it was, an exciting race, but we all enjoyed, I can say. And driver of the day goes to Jamie. Very interesting, controversial, but we're about to see the leaderboard. And here we are for the podium. I said leaderboard, we got the podium. Why do I keep forgetting this? Preston walking out once again for the 8th time this season. Charlie on his left, Sonoda on his right. Preston will be celebrating this win with the Haas team once again tonight. And he will be pushing and pushing his efforts for this championship. He is not giving up. That gap now closes by an official 7 points. Which means, and we'll give you the update in a second. No, not second, the next race. But it's getting closer. That's what we're trying to say. But I hope you enjoyed this race. We're about to see the leaderboard. And here you are with the leaderboard for the race. You have Preston in P1, Charlie in P2, Callum in P4, Jamie in P7. But unfortunately, Harry and Ritvik do DNF. But that doesn't matter. I hope you all enjoyed the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We'll see you next time, people, in Japan. Do not miss it, people. Like, subscribe, and tap that little bell so you miss another DFL video. See you next time. DFL out.